Hey guys, and welcome back to Regrexit, Brexit Britain. I think we can now all say we know exactly why this country is run so darned badly. It's because they're all drunk all the time. Every minute these guys are having a part. Downing Street seems to be one big rave. And also, welcome back to By Any Means Necessary. Thank you so much for all your messages sent me, and a special thanks to everybody who signed up to my channel. I feel so blessed with so much people that have signed up, so thank you so much for that. I'll go through all your messages. I will try and answer as many as I can, and I will definitely try to like all your messages. So, we have a new phrase coined in Downing Street, which is Wine Time Friday. It seems that every Friday, yeah, in Downing Street, they've been having parties every Friday night, right? With the knowledge of Boris Johnson, who often passed through the parties and encouraged them to have the parties to let their hair down after working so hard. And speaking of working hard, right? The woman that actually wrote the actual rules itself, right, for lockdown, right? She actually wrote the rules, and it turns out that she's been found out that that this woman had a party as well. She's I think she's running one of the councils now. She's running one of the councils up north somewhere now, right? But it turns out that she herself, I can't remember what her name is now, but it turns out she herself, right, was keeping parties. You think to yourself, seriously, what the hell is going on in Downing Street? Is it just one big party down there? Is it really just like a rave culture going on down the street? Right? And then I heard of a policeman on the radio, yeah, and he said he was an armed policeman. He said, well, how would we know what's going on in there? And so, really? So the police, what you said, what he's come on the radio and said, the police don't know what's going on in Downing Street. So, wow. We're lucky that we're kind of lucky, yeah, that ISIS haven't decided they're going to target the Prime Minister, because if the police don't know what the fuck is going on in Downing Street, yeah, then ISIS should be like, well, shouldn't we just like sort of slip in there, right, go and run him through, right, with a big fuck off zombie knife? Seriously, I mean, for a police officer, for an armed police officer, yeah, to come out and say, well, we're clueless, haven't got a clue what's going on. Yeah, we've checked around the perimeter, and all seems to be fine. Seriously, so basically we've got some real incompetence, right, from the government, but the police as well. Because this armed police officer, well, he said he was an armed police officer. That had, it wasn't like he was a guest. He had phoned up, right? So he said that's what he said he is, right? So I'm just very surprised and shocked, right, that you can have all these people in Downing Street and the police don't know who the fuck is in there. That's what they basically said. Well, how would we know? So if that's true, then that all seems to be very, very, I don't know, the word I'm looking for, maybe slapdash. It doesn't seem to be right at all. Do you know what I mean? And you've got like, and obviously you've got like people like Jacob Rees-Mogg out defending Boris Johnson, right? And what really dawned on me about Jacob Rees-Mogg, right, is the fact that Jacob Rees-Mogg, yeah, he must think that we are scum. Just all of us. I mean, I'm talking about whether you're Conservative, Labour, Liberal, Democrats, whether you vote for the Brexit party, whatever party, whoever you are, right, and I know, right, and let me tell you this, right, this is guaranteed. Jacob Rees-Mogg, right, believes that we are all scum. Because if Jacob Rees-Mogg can speak, to the leader of the Scottish Conservatives, right, and say he's a lightweight, he's a nothing, he's a no mark, he's a nobody, right? If Jacob Rees-Mogg can say that about him, What do you think he thinks about the rest of us? Right? Because how however you feel about politics, yeah. Douglas Ross is a big name in politics. The man is the leader of the Scottish Conservatives, right? And there's no greater advert, right, for Scottish independence than Boris Johnson and Jacob Rees-Mogg. I mean, Jacob Rees-Mogg has basically. I personally think he's just insulted every single person in Scotland, no matter what. Well, put it this way, right? He's insulted every single Conservative in Scotland, right? And if he thinks that the Conservatives in Scotland are scum, then it's a given that he thinks all of the rest, everybody else, right? So we can take it, right, that Jacob Rees-Mogg has insulted every single person in Scotland by saying that. Right, and I tell you that Jacob Rees-Mogg is the fastest way, right, of turning Great Britain into Little England. Right, Jacob Rees-Mogg is he right, for what he said there. It's just like, for me, these people, they've gone much too far, right, with their defence, right, of things what they're just clearly guilty of. Right, Boris Johnson had to say to Douglas Ross the other day, well, I can't tell you if there's going to be any more party revelations, because Douglas Ross says, is there going to be anything else? And Boris said, can't tell you. I can't give you that guarantee. So that's when Douglas Ross just come out and said, you know what, yeah, this man has to go. Right? And I don't know if you saw yesterday, right? Just one of the funniest things. This is hilariously funny, right? These guys, they dressed up in they had Boris Johnson masks on, a blonde wig, right, and loads of them had like a Union flag, right, tied around their neck, and they was outside Downing Street, right, dancing away, like pretending they're having a party, dancing away, all that with loud music, everything. I mean, so this is how Boris Johnson is just being completely mocked all over the world. But if you look, right, just look at the representation that we're showing the rest of the world. Right, Mr. Andrew Windsor, Jacob Rees-Mogg, and Boris Johnson. That is who the rest of the world is seeing when they're looking at Great Britain. I mean, how do you honestly feel about that? That those guys are representing us, and just looking, and people must be thinking to themselves, Britain is a complete basket case, right? Is it, just right? 400,000 times water sewage is put into your waters. I mean, people must be just looking at this country and thinking, wow, what the fuck is going on there? Right, seriously, do you know what I mean? I heard one guy come on the radio last night and said that Boris Johnson, yeah, is he's the best prime minister since Winston Churchill. I just thought to myself, has someone kicked you in the head? As a horse kicks you in the head or something? Is that what's happened? Because that must have been what's happened to him. Right? He must have been walking behind a horse, and he's been hoofed in the head. Right, because it's just some craziness. Do you know what I mean? That there's even one person in this country, let alone obviously Jacob Rees-Mogg, but there's even one person. I mean, you've got Tin Lizzie, that come from one of my contributors. That name come from. Right, you got Tin Lizzie just lining herself up, right, lining her pencil neck up, right, just waiting. She's just waiting there in the wings. I think to myself, my God, I can't believe the choice that we've got. Right? I'm there thinking to myself, God, Boris Johnson, if they were to replace Boris Johnson with Dominic Tetchy Rob, right, or Tin Pencil Neck Lizzie, right? You think, wow, that's your choice? That's not a good choice. So right now, Great Britain, Brexit Britain, regrets it, is not in a good place. And as I say, but we could always have that new phrase, Wine Time Friday. Anyway, guys, this is By Any Means Necessary. I'm the MC Ribs. It was really nice to speak to you guys. Comments below.